Do you feel like something is about to change? I don't know exactly what's happening inside you, but I want you to take a moment and pay attention. It might just be a persistent thought, perhaps a strange feeling in your chest, something that seems to whisper that something bigger is heading your way. This is not a coincidence. I'm not here to convince you of anything, but I'll tell you this. When life wants to talk to you, it doesn't whisper. It shouts, and I know you've heard that shout before. It's that message that arrives when you least expect it. It could be a phone call, an unexpected meeting, or even something you stumble upon by chance, but it's going to turn your world upside down. And it's going to happen. Very soon. What you do with this is another story. I know you want answers, but before you rush to find them, take a deep breath and look around. Notice the signs. Life never throws things your way without reason. You just need to be attentive. But I need to warn you, when this news arrives, it may not be what you were expecting, but it will be exactly what you need. I know you might not feel prepared for what's coming. In fact, who really is? The most impactful changes in life never ask for permission to enter. They just arrive and take over everything. And you need to understand this now. What's about to happen will challenge you, but it will also transform you. This news, this event, is going to shake your foundation. It might make you question everything you believe to be stable. And do you know why? Because life has no interest in keeping you comfortable. Comfort is the opposite of growth, and what's coming is an invitation, or perhaps a demand, for you to grow in ways you've never grown before. I know you're feeling afraid, and it's completely okay to feel that way. Who wouldn't? But don't let that fear be the only thing you feel, because along with it comes something much more important, the possibility of something better, something greater. Can you see that? Or are you so focused on your doubts that you can't even see what's right in front of you? Take a moment to breathe, just that. I'm not going to ask you to calm down because that would be unfair to ask right now. But I want you to realize that what you're feeling isn't the end of anything. It's the beginning. And beginnings, no matter how scary they are, carry an energy you can't ignore. It's what gets you moving. Maybe you're thinking that you don't have the strength, that you don't know how to deal with what's coming. But I'm going to tell you a truth you may have been avoiding. You are much stronger than you believe. Look back. How many things have you faced that you thought you couldn't? How many moments of pain, doubt, loss have you gone through and overcome? And yet, here you are, more resilient than ever, more alive than ever. You didn't get here by chance. What's coming now is different, I know. It seems bigger, more challenging, more definitive. And maybe it really is. But what matters isn't the size of the challenge. What matters is how you're going to face it. There's no map, no manual. The only thing you have is your courage and your will to move forward. And that's enough. And there's one more thing you need to know. Change isn't going to wait until you're ready. It won't ask for permission, nor will it check to see if you're comfortable. It's simply going to happen, and when it does, you'll have two choices. You can resist, fight against it, try to keep things the way they are, or you can accept. You can embrace the unknown, even without understanding everything, and trust that there's something greater at play. This doesn't mean it will be easy. It won't be. It will hurt. It will throw you off balance. It will make you question who you are, what you want, and how far you're willing to go to find your path. But it will also show you a strength you didn't even know you had. It will open doors you didn't know existed. Now I ask you, what will you do when that happens? Will you hide, pretend nothing has changed, or will you face it head on? Will you allow yourself to feel the fear, the doubt, and still take that next step? I can't do this for you, no one can. But what I can tell you is that you are not alone. You never have been. Life has always provided you with tools, signs, and even people to support you, even if you didn't realize it. So if you're waiting for a perfect moment, for absolute clarity, I need to be honest with you, that moment will not come. You don't need to be completely certain to take action. You just need to start. Because sometimes, just beginning is enough to change everything. I know there are a million questions in your head right now. Why is this happening to me? Will I be able to handle it? What will happen next? I won't give you ready-made answers because they don't exist. What I can give you is a certainty. You will find out. And in the process, you will discover yourself as well. It doesn't matter what you're feeling right now, whether it's fear, anxiety, or even a glimmer of hope. This is all part of it. These feelings are what make you human. Don't try to erase them or pretend they don't exist, but also don't let them paralyze you. Use them as fuel. Let them push you forward, not backward. Now, I want you to do something simple. Look around. Pay attention to the little things, the sound of your breath, the texture of something you're holding, a detail in your sight that you may have ignored until now. These small moments are all you have, and no matter how insignificant they may seem, they are the beginning of something greater. They are proof that you are alive, here, now, and ready for whatever comes next. Because in the end, no matter what life throws your way, what truly makes a difference is what you choose to do with it. The world doesn't stop. The news keeps coming. Changes happen. But only you can decide how you're going to respond to it. So tell me, are you ready to take the next step, even if you don't know exactly where it will lead you? Are you willing to trust, to take a risk, to believe that something greater is waiting for you on the other side of this news? If the answer is yes, even if it's a hesitant, uncertain yes, then you've already begun. You need to understand that the moment you decide to take that first step, everything starts to move. I'm not talking about something grand or filled with certainties. Sometimes the next step is small, almost imperceptible, but it carries with it the weight of something bigger, the choice, the decision not to stay still. When you face the unknown, your mind starts to create scenarios. It tries to predict what will happen, looking for all the reasons for you to stop, for you to retreat. And I know it's tempting to believe those thoughts because they seem to protect you, but the truth is, they limit you. They keep you tied to what is familiar, even when the familiar no longer makes sense. Now ask yourself, what are you really protecting? Is it something that's still worth it, or is it just the fear of losing control? Life doesn't want you to have control, it wants you to trust. Trust that even the most uncertain situations have a purpose. Trust that, even without knowing how, you will find a way. And trust that within you everything you need to handle what comes already exists. But don't expect it to be pretty. Don't expect it to be easy. Transformation is never comfortable. It requires you to face parts of yourself that you may have avoided for years. It demands that you ask yourself questions you've never had the courage to ask. It requires you to let go, not because it's what you want, but because it's what you need. And yes, it will hurt. It will hurt to release what you've held onto for so long. It will hurt to give up certainties that felt unchangeable. But at the same time, that pain will create space. Space for something new, something you can't even imagine right now. But when it arrives, it will make you look back and realize that it was all worth it. Can you imagine what it would be like if you allowed this, if you didn't fight against it, but flowed with what's happening? Because deep down you already know that resisting won't change anything. What's meant to happen will happen. And the only thing you can control is how you choose to react. It may seem simple, but it's the most powerful decision you can make. And I want you to understand this now. You are not being punished. You are not being tested for no reason. What's happening is a call, a push from life for you to move from where you are to where you're meant to be. Because no matter how much you try to convince yourself otherwise, the place you're in today is not your final destination. It's just a station, a pause along the way. And this news, this change that is coming, is the sign that it's time to move forward. I know you might be tired. I know that life sometimes feels like an endless series of challenges, but I want you to think for a moment. What would happen if you gave up now? What would happen if you decided that it's not worth trying anymore? The world would keep spinning. Things would keep changing. But you would be stuck, trapped in a cycle of regret and what-ifs. You deserve more than that. You deserve to truly live. You deserve to experience everything that life has to offer, even if that means facing the unknown. Because it is in the unknown that the greatest rewards lie. That's where you find your strength, your purpose, your essence. So when that news arrives, when that change presents itself, I want you to be ready. Not to have all the answers, but to embrace whatever comes. To trust that, even when everything seems chaotic, there is an invisible order guiding each step. And above all, to believe in yourself. Because in the end, the only thing that truly matters is this: your ability to keep going, to try, to not give up. Now make a promise to yourself, not for me, but for you. Promise that When that moment arrives, you won't back down. That you will face it head-on, even if you're trembling inside. That you will accept the challenge not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. And above all, that you will remember you are not alone. You never have been. Life is with you, even in the moments when it seems to be against you. I don't know what is to come. I don't know what this news will be or how it will manifest. But I do know it will be a turning point. And I know that you have everything you need to face it. Because in the end, what really matters is not the news itself, but what you choose to do with it. And I ask again, are you ready to trust yourself and what's to come? Are you ready to face what life has in store for you? If the answer is yes, even with some doubt mixed in, then you've already taken the most important step. I know these words may have stirred something in you. Perhaps you're now trying to understand how all of this connects to the moment you're experiencing. Maybe you're thinking, is this what's happening to me? Is this news, this change already on its way? I want you to know that no matter where you are right now, your feelings are valid. Your doubts, your fears, even the relief or anxiety that arise when imagining what lies ahead. All of this is part of the process. What I want you to understand and to hold on to is that life doesn't operate by chance. This message you received today, this calling, this feeling that something is coming, it's not random. Life always finds a way to put us on the right path, even if it may seem confusing or frightening at first. If you're sensing that something is about to change, or if you've already noticed the signs of that change, pay attention. Don't ignore it. Many people tend to avoid looking at what causes discomfort, pretending that everything is under control, or that things can just continue as they are. But deep down, you know that doesn't solve anything. Change happens, whether you're ready or not. The difference lies in how you choose to face it. Now is the time for you to start asking yourself important questions. Am I living according to who I really am? What is holding me back today? What am I not doing out of fear of the unknown? These questions might not have immediate answers, but simply by asking them, you begin to change. You create space for life to show you the next step. And when this next step arrives, whether big or small, embrace it. Even if it comes in the form of unexpected news, an opportunity that pushes you out of your comfort zone, or even a loss that seems unbearable at the moment. Because often, the things we fear the most are the ones that transform us in the deepest ways. I know you have been through tough times before, perhaps at the time you thought you wouldn't make it, but here you are, still standing. This is proof that your strength is greater than you realize, and the strength you had back then is still within you now. In fact, it's even stronger because every experience we face prepares us more for what's to come. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know exactly what to do or where to go. The only thing you need is the courage to take the next step, even if it's a small one. A movement, no matter how small, is what separates stagnation from growth. And growing, as challenging as it may be, is always the way forward. I want you to think about this now. What is holding you back? What do you know you should change, but haven't yet found the courage to face? It might be a relationship that no longer makes sense, a job that doesn't fulfill you, or even a belief about yourself that limits you. Whatever it is, life is giving you an opportunity to leave it behind, to move forward, to become the person you know deep down you were born to be. But this requires something from you. It requires that you trust the process, even if you don't understand everything right now. It requires that you allow yourself to feel fear, but not to be dominated by it. And above all, it requires that you be present, here and now. Because it's in the present that life happens, it's in the present that change begins. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, it's not, but you are capable. You've faced what seemed impossible before. You've confronted situations that tested you to your limits. And still, you moved forward. This time won't be any different. The difference is that now you have more awareness, more experience, and more tools to handle whatever comes your way. Now I want you to do something. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what do I really want? Not what others expect from you, not what seems safe, but what you truly desire deep down. Let that answer arise even if it's uncertain, even if it comes with doubts. This answer, is your compass. It will guide you along the path that lies ahead. And now I want you to take action. Don't wait any longer. Don't let this feeling, this calling, pass you by. Share in the comments how this message resonated with you. I want to know. I want to hear your voice. I want you to tell me what you're feeling, what's going through your mind right now. Because sometimes expressing these things is already a significant step. And if this message touched you in some way, if something here made sense for what you're going through, I ask you, give it a like. This isn't just a simple gesture. It's a way to show that these words reached you at the right moment, and it also helps this message get to others who need to hear it today. And, of course, subscribe to the channel. I'm here to share with you reflections, stories, and messages that can help you navigate through the ups and downs of life. I want you to be part of this journey with me, because together we are stronger. Life is made up of moments like this, where a simple message can ignite something within us and lead us to places we never imagined. The decision to continue is yours. The decision to listen to what life is telling you, to take action, to change. But I want you to know that regardless of what you choose, you are not alone. I'm here and this community is here to walk alongside you. So tell me, what's on your mind right now? What's the next step you feel you need to take? Write it in the comments. I want to know. I want you to understand that your story matters. What you're experiencing right now is part of something bigger. And remember, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and share this message with someone who might need to hear it. You never know the impact that one word, one gesture can have on another person's life. And sometimes that's how transformation begins, with a simple movement that sets off everything that comes next. Life is calling you. What will you do with that?